Okay, so once you have added in your goals, your calories, your macros, now the fun begins. The fun is only fun when you get a hang of it. And in the beginning, I totally understand how it might be a little bit overwhelming because you're so used to having someone um, do the work for you. But actually, this skill is an amazing skill that you'll have for life. So, the key element to starting off tracking your macros, I started off with just adding the food that I was already eating. That made it a lot easier. So I just got started. So for example, for breakfast, um, egg whites. So all you do is go to the search bar, type in egg whites, and for my recent um, entries have come up, but for someone that's starting, you probably won't have any recent entries. So you'll press search. Now, this is where multiple entries come up and it can get really confusing. But see how the top egg whites have a green tick of approval next to it? That's a verification tick, and that means that this has a true reading, a proper entry. So it's been verified by MyFitnessPal. So you want to aim to hit as many of those verification entries as possible. Otherwise, if you can see this entry, everything has been filled out. So even though there's a 0 next to the fat, it's still been there's still an entry there. So it's got the sodium, no potassium, but there's carbs. So this is a really good reading and one that I would use to put into MyFitnessPal. If you're using an egg white carton, there is an option to do a scan the barcode. So what you can do is scan the barcode of the food that you have, and this makes it a hell of a lot easier to track. Oh, it's got an invalid barcode. That doesn't work, does it? Let's try one more time. Oh, well, that's not working. Alternatively, you can type in the brand of the food that you are eating if you have it at home. You're meant to perform for camera, not. So, pure egg whites, 63 grams. Awesome. That's in. And there we go. So that's my first entry. My next entry, avocado. Okay, so there's lots of verifications here. So make sure you are weighing the avocado and then adding that in. So I'm going to have 50 grams. So here it gives me the option to go 30 grams, 1 grams, an ounce. So here I can also go into decimals. So about 50 grams, what's that? 1 point. See what that gives me. 39 grams. Nope. Let's stick with that for today. Awesome. Okay. I also have cod liver oil. So guys, if you're having any fish oil, that needs to be tracked as well. Here we go. So therefore, if you've got anything that you can scan, I highly recommend using that. Now, sourdough. Sonoma is a brand that has a really good reading and is used a lot if you eat out. I use sourdough bread, so perfect. I'll add that in. Chicken breast. Now, you have the option here of choosing it raw or choosing it cooked. So if I write chicken breast raw, I need to weigh and I press 100 grams of chicken breast raw, which is a really good reading. Here is, everything's filled out. That's an awesome entry right there. That means that when I go to weigh my chicken breast to cook for my lunch, it must be weighed raw because that is the entry I have put in. If I type in chicken breast poached, here we go, it's going to have a completely different reading to my raw chicken breast, even at the same weight, because how you cook it changes the weight of it. So there's a slight difference there. Okay, so once I start adding in the food that I've been eating, I will go down to nutrition here, and it can come out in many ways, but what you want to do is click the nutrients page. That's what we're looking at. And you will see that as I've added in the entries, it's changing. It's telling me the total that I've added in so far. Next is my goal. So I'm trying to hit 140 protein. I'm trying to hit 300 grams of carbs. I've got to hit 40 grams of fiber. I ignore the sugar, so don't even worry about the sugar. And then I've got 60 grams of fat. So then it also tells me what I have left. Then it also goes down to polyunsaturated fats, monounsaturated fats, and saturated fats. And here I have goals within those fats. So I need to try and hit 30% monounsaturated fats, and then 30% polyunsaturated fats, 30 grams, and then 20 grams saturated fats. So there's no limitation on the food that you choose as long as it stays within your macro requirements and you have no allergies to it. So again, vegetables is important. So spinach, 2 cups. You still need to weigh your vegetables. Cauliflower. So I'm putting it in steamed, so that means that I need to weigh it steamed. Cappuccino, McDonald's or Starbucks. So see, as I've started to type in cappuccino, there are multiple entries that come up, and they generally come up from the big brands. So I've got McDonald's here, Costa Coffee, and here we go. This has got the cappuccino whole milk small McDonald's. If I tap on that, most of them are filled out, but this is actually a really good reading. It's an honest reading. So I'll add that in. Again, go down to nutrition. How am I looking? I've got a fair few macros left, so it's going to take me a while, but you can see, you can understand, you know, how to start adding in your food. I'm just going to add in the food that I really want to eat and that I have been eating, and then I can make some adjustments towards the end as I start to fill up my entries, play around with portion sizes to hit my targets.